And Owen Kirshner's call to the post brings the horses on the track for the feature 10th race tonight, the Grade 1. $340,150 kindergarten Futurity has 2-year-olds go 300 yards. Rider change on number 9, Proud Desert Queen, Norberto Acevas, with post time now in 10 minutes at 10:45. And ladies and gentlemen, here is the field for this year's kindergarten Futurity, the first Grade 1 2-year-old Futurity of 2008 in California. Number 1 is Irene's Choice, who is owned by the F&F Racing Stables and trained by Hector Jaime Hernandez. The rider is Santiago Mendez. Number 2 is Show Me a Beduino, who is owned by Rancho El Alicron and trained by Adan Farias. The rider, Rodrigo Acevas. Number 3 is Trace Passes, who is owned by Janet R. McHenry and trained by Blaine Schwanevelt. The jockey is Cesar de Alba. The fastest qualifier is number 4, Runner Dreamin', owned by the E.G. High Desert Farms and trained by Roberto Ramirez. The jockey is J.R. Ramirez. Number 5, Candy Corona, is owned by Selena Molina and trained by Jaime Gomez. In the saddle, Alejandro Lina. Number 6, Rev It Up, owned by the Kalani Farms Incorporated and trained by Paul Jones. The jockey, Ramon Sanchez. Number 7 is Six-ish, owned by Dutch Masters 3 and trained by Jaime Gomez. The jockey is Carlos Huerta. Number 8 is He's Regal, who is owned by Paul Jones and Thompson Racing Incorporated and trained by Paul Jones. The jockey is Cody Jensen. And number 9 is Proud Desert Queen, owned by the Viramontes brothers and trained by Rodolfo Viramontes. The new jockey, Norberto Acevas. And number 10, Loved Her First, is owned by Carino Molina and trained by Felix Gonzalez. And doing the riding is Eddie Garcia.
Welcome back to Lowell's. Let me know tonight's featured event is the first Grade 1 2-year-old Futurity race of the season. Grade 1 Futurity of the racing season. The kindergarten Futurity, over $340,000 in the purse. And you have a field of 10. And on my charts, the whole field figures within like 3/4 of the length of one another. So it could very well come down to luck or bad luck, as it were. Exacta, trifecta. Late Liebo Superfecta wagering available for you here in race number 10. The kindergarten Futurity. Top choice for us will be the fastest qualifier for E.G. High Desert Farms. Runner Dreamin' here for Roberto Ramirez, Jr. And of course, E.G.I. Desert Farms owner, breeder. This one's second start of this one's career. Thought he needed the first race. And the second race, this horse bobbled away from the gate, showed some solid speed, and won with one left to spare. It was a pretty solid performance. I'm going to give the filly a look here as our top choice. Number 6, Rev It Up. She's undefeated thus far in her career for Paul Jones and Kalani Farms. And this one is bred to be a runner and has got a lot of heart. This one went nicely in the debut. Then last time in the Futurity trials up against Trace Pass, a very well-regarded colt there by our gelding there for Blaine Schwanevelt and Jenna McKierney. And this one broke right with the leader, kind of forcing a little bit midway, but kind of re-rally, had the lead, and now would not let that one go by. This one has got ability, breeding, connections, heart. This very solid combination here is our second choice, Rev It Up. And the aforementioned Trace Passes, this horse, a very solid series of drills prior, is very well meant here for Blaine Schwanevelt. He's very high on this gelding, and this horse had a lot of run left to give, and there was a solid performance him on his debut. So I'm going to give him a big look here to improve that debut in the trial, make him our third choice. And then he's Regal. He's undefeated for Paul Jones and Thompson Racing Incorporated, friend of mine, solid friend, Terry Thompson, Paul Jones, owner breeders. And this one's got a lot of ability. He bobbled away from the gate, kind of skated a little bit midway, big run midway, finished strongly. But what caught the eye was he finished very strongly, galloped out very, very well with run left to give without even being shoved on. So he's drawn nicely for his style of racing. I give him a long shot look here to get close. Here is our super effective filler in a very, very close on my numbers. Total purse over $340,000 purse. Grade 1 first 2-year-old Grade 1 Futurity of the racing season. Exacted, trifecta, late, daily double, super effective wagering as well. Let's go with the 4, Runner Dreamin'.
The horses are now approaching the starting gate. The horses are now at the gate. And now the 2-year-old's ready to come to the gate for this year's Kindergarten Futurity. Irene's Choice is going in. And so is Rev It Up. So now the other 8 begin to come up. As 6-ish has gone in. And here is Show Me a Beduino. He's Wriggle comes up. The current 2-1 favorite is Trace Passes, ready to go in. We now have 4 left allowed. The fastest qualifier, Runner Dreamin', coming to the gate. Proud Desert Queen will be the next one in. We now have 2 left allowed. As Candy Corona and Loved Her First, 2 of the big long shots in the field to complete the lineup. And now Candy Corona in. And Loved Her First will be the last one to load. Loved Her First and Eddie Garcia to the gate. And now they're all in the gate. And away they go in the Kindergarten Futurity, and the one who came away the best from the outside is 6-ish. Also, He's Wriggle and Show Me a Beduino. Runner Dreamin's now coming on, and so is Rev It Up. Quite a bit of trouble there, as Rev It Up is now coming on fast, and 6-ish and a nose bob, and it's going to be very, very tight. Rev It Up at 6-ish, maybe Rev It Up by a nose, with Show Me a Beduino in third. He's Wriggle is in fourth. Very close for the win, though. And the stewards have quickly posted the inquiry sign to take a look at multiple incidents during the running of the Kindergarten Futurity, so please hold all tickets. And number 6, Rev It Up, is the unofficial winner of the Kindergarten Futurity, with number 7, 6-ish second. Number 2, Show Me a Beduino third. Number 8, He's Regal, fourth, but again, the stewards conducting an inquiry into several different incidents into the running of the Kindergarten Futurity, so we ask you to please hold all tickets. And now returning to the winner's circle is the unofficial winner of this year's Kindergarten Futurity is number 6, Rev It Up, who is owned by the Kalani Farms Incorporated and trained by Paul Jones, winning jockey Ramon Sanchez. Rev It Up is a 2-year-old filly bred in Texas by C&T Griffith and Jim Markham and is by first down dash out of R.R. Lemistral. Winning time for the 300 yards, 15.30 seconds. And making the trophy presentation to the winning owner of this year's Kindergarten Futurity is the head of our janitorial department. And one of the good guys here at Los Alamitos, John Wiseman, is making the trophy presentation. Again, we are having a steward's inquiry, ladies and gentlemen, so we ask you to please hold all tickets. We'll give you an update as to which horses are involved here, but the stewards are looking at several different situations during the running of the Kindergarten Futurity. And ladies and gentlemen, your attention please, there has been a disqualification. The stewards have disqualified number 2, Show Me a Beduino, from 3rd and placed him 10th. Number 2, Show Me a Beduino, disqualified from 3rd and placed 10th for interfering with number 3, Trace Passes, number 4, Runner Dream, and number 5, Candy Corona, when shifting out sharply, approaching the 16th pole. Now moved up to 3rd is number 8, He's Regal, as number 2, Show Me a Beduino, the original 3rd place finisher, has been disqualified and placed last. Again, moved up to 3rd is number 8, He's Regal. We'll have the 4th place finisher here momentarily. 4th place finisher is now number 3, Trace Passes. It's the 10th race. The Kindergarten Futurity is now official. Here is the $1 exacta combination of 6 and 7 for a return of $42. Next up is the $1 trifecta 6, 7, and 8, $269.90. The $1 superfecta 6, 7, 8, and 3 pays $1,502.80. Post time for the 11th and final race in 17 minutes at 11:12. Quarter horses to run 400 yards. There is superfecta wagering and a rider change here in race 11 for number 8 Hensby, Joel Valadez. Number 8 Hensby, Joel Valadez, £2 over. Coming up momentarily, the inquiry replay of race number 10. We'll take a look at both the head-on and the pan shot, and pretty obvious as to what happens when we show you both the head-on and the pan shot and the reason for the disqualification of number 2, Show Me a Beduino, from third to last. And here we go with the inquiry replay. The head-on shot. As the number 2 horse, Show Me a Beduino, initially is drifting inward. He's not even involved here, but watch what happens. He causes a chain reaction, a total collision there past the 16th pole. That's the reason for the disqualification. Next up will be the pan shot. As the number 2 horse, Show Me a Beduino, after drifting inward past the 8th pole, will suddenly shift direction sharply. Watch what happens. As the number 2 horse, Show Me a Beduino, will drift in sharply here and then suddenly shift out, forcing the 3, 4, and 5 into one another, causing that chain reaction, and that's the reason for the disqualification. Please note here in the 11th race that number 3, Joe Killer, does not wear a flipping halter. No flipping halter for number 3, Joe Killer.